So looking at early extension, really looking at your shoulder plane on the way through can have an amazing effect on what your legs and what your feet do. Okay, so obviously we're seeing a lot of people into the swing or moving or swinging with a shoulder plane that's very, very level through the ball, or too level. Okay. Now after this video, I'm going to show you some evidence-based material with some top players, and we'll have a look at their shoulder planes and some of their leg work, and it'll give you a better understanding of what's happening. I'm just going to go in this video, I'm just going to talk about the shoulder plane and the effect that it has with a steeper shoulder plane through the ball compared to a level shoulder plane through the ball. This is, as I said before, this has helped so many people that I've taught, and the effect can be, it's just amazing. If you, within a couple of shots, you'll feel it yourselves. Now, a steep shoulder plane through the ball, generally you're going to have professionals that have a steeper plane going through the shot to what they did on the way back. All right. Now, if you do get a steeper shoulder plane through the ball, your knees will tend to stay back and your right foot will roll better. If I get a bit level, this will tend to kick out and this will tend to move this way. It's connected. Okay. So like in the other video when I said, yeah, don't put the cart in front of the horse. So I'm deliberately going to steepen my shoulder plane through the shot here. All right, I had a good feeling there of my right leg moving better through the shot. Okay, so if you steepen your shoulder plane, it can have an amazing effect. It can prevent pull shots. It will keep you in the shot. It keeps your legs and your feet back. But let's now have a look at a video just to back that up. And if you guys are filming your swings, check it out, because sometimes we can use something like this and just see the results immediately.
So hi everybody, looking at shoulder plane here, we'll be looking at early extension, or the hips moving towards the ball, and we're looking at how the shoulder plane and the steepness of the shoulder plane can affect your leg and your footwork through the golf ball. Now we'll be looking at certain positions, and we're looking at a few different numbers and a few different ways to pivot and move through the ball so that we can get our feet and legs moving effectively. A lot of people are out there working on things for a long time without seeing results, and we're just going to go through a few videos here and show you guys what we're after. As we can see here, wonderful ball strike and Hanson, and we can see we start to get that V-type leg work through the ball where the feet are moving beautifully, the right foot's not kicked out. And when we have a look here at the shoulder plane through the shot, I'll just pop a line over the golf ball there. We're moving through it. We'll just be able to see here, you can run straight through the ball where the shoulder plane lands. Now, I still believe that many people believe that the shoulder plane is the same, on the way back and on the way through. But generally, every time you're going to see a steeper shoulder plane through the ball, and this gets the pelvic bend and the forward bending of the hips in a very interesting position, and it keeps us in the shot, keeps the right arm under the left, and keeps the footwork back. And we're just going to go through now, a few swings and have a look at the shoulder plane of a couple of these, fantastic ball strikers. And so we'll head up to the top and we're having a look at Robert Rock. Okay, so we'll just get a line through here. Shoulder plane pointing about a metre outside the ball and swinging through, and we can obviously see here that the shoulder plane is steeper through the ball. I might have made that just a bit too steep, but around about there. Okay, you can see that also great footwork here. Now if we're looking at early extension, we'll pop a line here on the back of the hip and into the ground, and we'll see that he stays there very nicely, and great footwork through the golf ball. Dodge Kema Tour professional, plays in the Japanese tour that I teach. We'll see here, we'll pop a line down, and we'll have a look. A little bit of early extension moving towards the ball is not a bad thing, and definitely got some great players out there with a little bit of movement with their hips towards the ball. Always a good idea to, if you can, to deepen the hips somewhat on the way back, as we can see here. Get a bit of a head start and deepening that pivot, and we'll just have a look at this shoulder plane here. And we'll see that we're pointing about a metre outside the ball, but moving on the way through. obviously we can see here that the plane is now, the shoulder plane is a lot steeper through the shot here. Okay, so that's an area, guys, I want you guys to have a look at it. It will tend to pull your hips back and give you this type of footwork, this type of V in your legs and in your feet. And we're seeing a repeating theme here when we're looking at great ball strikers. I mean, some of them, which we'll have a look in a minute, just a couple of people that move, especially with the driver and longer clubs, move slightly towards the ball. Pop a line down here. We'll have a look at McIlroy here, up to the top. Line down through the shoulders, about a metre outside the ball. And into impact, we see just a touch of movement towards the ball, but definitely seeing there a steeper shoulder plane and having that similar type of V work with the feet. Now, it is interesting when we see certain players, which I'll show you just in a second. Here's Manacero, obviously here seeing a very steep shoulder plane on the way through, and that really will, when it's that steep, really will keep the hips back. But we will see certain players at times, especially with the drivers, not staying there. Now, we know that McIlroy is one of the best drivers of the golf ball in the world, perhaps arguably of all time. And, you're going to see most times with these great players, with the longer clubs, a little bit of movement there with the driver, towards the ball. So, I mean, we've got the best iron player in the world. It's a little bit unique, but we're looking at Tommy Fleetwood here, and you'll still see here a little bit of movement towards the ball. So, don't be too hard on yourself. Give yourself there, a break. If you've got just a touch of movement, there's a very steep shoulder plane once again as compared to the way on the way back, and that will have definitely an effect on this pelvis and where that points, and it's a great way in creating this V type of footwork, people. So, before you stand out in the range and you're trying for hours and hours to keep those hips back, and if you're not having any success there, really have a look at this shoulder plane and steepen the shoulder plane, and then you can have another look at your leg and your feet work and your footwork, and you might be very surprised that it's put you into a much better position.